Welcome back to another episode of the Points of Articulation. My name's Dave, and if you're new to the channel, welcome everybody. Today I'm looking at the Star Wars Titanium Series Trade Federation Battleship, released in 1999. This ship was first seen in Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. Now, truth be told, this isn't exactly a true Titanium Series vessel. It was released in the 1999 Galoob die-cast Micro Machines line for Episode 1 vehicles. However, after Hasbro fully took over years later and made the Titanium line, they did use the same exact mold to give us the CIS variant, which I reviewed months ago. So it's not really a Titanium, but yet again, yes it is. So the Trade Federation Battleship, or the Lucrehulk, used to be a cargo vessel before being converted to warships in the Clone Wars era. Now, this particular vessel is just a normal Trade Federation battleship. It's not the droid control ship, but it is what it is. You know, I wish we would have had the control ship, but I understand why they didn't. For the time period, you would have had to put dishes all the way around, and you would have had to have, I would say, at least 10 little standing antennas in the back. It would have been hard for them to do it in the time, but I have to admit, this does look very nice. For the size of this particular miniature, we're looking at a tad over 3 inches long, which is amazing. It's a very wide ship as well, and we do have a lot to cover today. So if you're new to my channel, what I like to do is look at the mold, check out the paint, put it on a stand, compare it to some other pieces, and then we'll conclude the video. So let's get started. So let's get this video started looking at the mold. Like in all my videos, I will go over all the major sections of the vehicle, and then we'll get a nice close-up look to see those fine details. Oh boy, we got a lot to talk about, so let's get right to it. We have our engines in the back, looking very nice, very detailed. Fantastic stuff there. We have our shield generator, our neck, center sphere. These two things right here are the scanner arrays. I always thought they were like shield domes for the Imperial Star Destroyer, but I'd be wrong. So anyway, moving on, we have these beautiful arms coming out, and they are fully armored. On here should be a bunch of weapons such as quad turbo lasers. Sadly, because of the scale of this, we don't see any of them. However, they did put nice panel lines and raised sections all around, as you can see. Great stuff. For the interior wall, in there should be weapons as well as smaller hangar bays. Again, because of the scale, we can't see them, but it is nicely detailed. Moving to the front, we have our docking claws, main entryway to the main hangar, which goes all the way to the back section on each side. We also have our tractor beam projectors. We got 4 of them, so that's pretty cool, and that actually works with the gimmick. We have a Republic cruiser, which is basically being drawn in with a tractor beam, even though they land freely in Episode 1, and you can drag it back and forth, and we'll look at this gimmick later on with the close-up, but it's just a lever right here. Simple, but it gets the job done. Now moving on from there, we turn the ship over, we have a whopping 6 screws holding it together, copyright crap, beautiful detailing throughout, same as the top. And then you might be wondering, Dave, what the hell are these things? Well, I guess Galoob/Hasbro didn't really understand this ship very much, and it's landing gear. You know, so it's a nice little gimmick. Again, it didn't come with a stand, so I guess they had to do something so that way it could rest evenly on the ground. So it's kind of odd, but a welcome inclusion for the time. So having said that, that is all the major parts of this beautiful looking ship. So now, let's take a closer look at those details. Alright, for a closer look, let's get started with the main hangar bay sections. Again, we have our tractor beam projectors on the top and bottom, looking good. We have some minor detailing on these sides. It's hard to see because the paint sort of rounds it out, but you could tell it's there. Then we have our docking claws, looking good. Very vague, but a nice representation. Again, on the back as well. And then we have a little recess for the hangar bay, and I guess there's a door there. All in all, some pretty nice stuff. For the opposite side, again, we can see some minor detail in there. Again, the arm and projectors. But we have that gimmick. And we have a miniature Republic cruiser, and you can see it is nicely detailed. The engines, the forward, everything's done nicely. Even the bottom, you could even see the escape pods. Pretty cool. I think that came out great. I know episode 1 isn't everybody's favorite, but you know, I kind of dig the ship designs, and I kind of like the movie. I don't know, it's just me. Like, Star Wars had to start somewhere, right? Anyway, looking at the main hull of the ship, you could see beautiful line work, raised sections going throughout, and I dig this. I really do. I love the CIS and droid ships. Very nice. Again, for the other side, mine does have some paint scuffs. I had this for a while, but a fantastic design here. I really do dig it. Now for the interior. Again, it seems like the paint is rounded off here and there, but all the detailing is there. Look at that, pretty cool. I think that came out great. For the other side, it's the same thing. Beautiful stuff. You know, they didn't even need to put the detail in there, but they did it, and I am very thankful. Coming to the aft section, you can see all this beautiful detail in here. Looking really good. Look at all that. We even have a little tower there. Dope. Again, we have our shield generator in the front. And this beautiful neck section. Look at the detail on there. Great stuff. Even the underneath is done very nice. That is great. I think that came out beautiful. I love the designs on here. Very nice. Now for our center sphere, we can see beautiful paneling, raised sections. Very nice. Very unique. I think this came out great. On the bottom, we have a peg port for our stand and a screw. But very nice. I love this quite a bit. Now for the sensors or scanner array, you can see there is some detailing on there. Mine's a little tilted, but it happens with these. But beautiful. I think this came out great. Now moving on to the engines, you can see they are beautiful. Look at all the detailing on the top. Even the bottom. Fantastic. And the engines themselves, look at that. Nicely detailed. Even the smaller ones are nicely done. They're recessed, painted blue. Fantastic stuff. I'm really impressed with this. But then again, the original Micro Machines never disappointed. Great stuff. I really think this came out great. Beautiful. So now let's take a look at the bottom of the vessel. Again, beautifully molded. We have screws holding it together. Landing gear. And the beautiful detail continues throughout. Fantastic stuff. More screws. The lever for our gimmick. More landing gear. Copyright crap. Screws. Then our center section. Which, look at all this. Pipes and hoses. Very nice. Modules. Nothing is flat. This is great. And then to our next section, which we already looked at. A fantastic looking vessel. Now, one thing I did forget to mention is the outer side, and you can see the beautiful detail in here. It's sort of in a trench like the Imperial Star Destroyer. Again, the details look sort of rounded off because of the paint, but I'm really not bothered by it. I think it looks good for what it is. Just very nicely done. Beautiful ship. So that does it for the mold. Hopefully I covered everything. So now let's take a look at the paint. And now looking at the paint on the Trade Federation Battleship, this baby only has 4 different colors. The first color is a nice light gray. It's the main color on the ship. You can see it on the interior, the neck, the sphere, main body, engines, everywhere. And to be honest, I'm happy with this choice. I think it goes very well with the ship itself. No issues there. Next we have light tan or extremely light yellow. And that's scattered throughout the paneling. Again, I really don't have a problem with this. You can see it on the center sphere as well. And it's not on the bottom. but very nice, and it does contrast with the light gray and gives it a little, oomph. So I'm kind of digging it. Next we have sky blue for the engines, which are recessed in and they look great. And finally, maroon for the Republic Cruiser. All in all, a very nice paint job. So that does it for the mold and the paints. Now let's put this baby back on a stand, compare it to some vessels, and then we'll be done. Now this particular vessel does not come with a stand. Luckily I have an extra one, and it does have a peg port. So pegging in the port like so, and just like that, everybody, you are good to go. And for a quick size comparison today, here we have some capital ships from the Star Wars Titanium line. From the left, moving to the right, we have the Malevolence, a beautiful ship, the Invisible Hand, Grievous's command ship, Trade Federation battleship, and finally on the right hand side we have the Venator. Very nice. I love these ships very much. I'm a huge capital ship fan, as many of you watching are, and these are some great vessels. For an added bonus size comparison, here we have some more cruisers and capital ships. Starting again from the left and moving to the right, we have the Mon Calamari Star Cruiser, the Liberty, the Imperial Attack Cruiser, the Trade Federation battleship, and finally the Republic Cruiser, a very nice group of ships yet again. And finally, we have some more capital ships here. On the left-hand side, we have the CIS paint variant of the Trade Federation battleship, looking sick. In the center, we have our Trade Federation battleship. And then finally, on the right-hand side, we have the second version of the Imperial Star Destroyer. Some awesome ships. And if you're interested in seeing reviews of any of the ships I've shown today, check the links in the description below. And that does it today for my review of the Star Wars Titanium Series Trade Federation battleship released in 1999. This is a great vessel. Sure, it's old and from the Galoob Micro Machines line of die-cast Episode 1 vessels, but Hasbro liked this so much they reused the mold with a new paint scheme years later for their Clone Wars line of titanium vessels, and I can see why. For the mold, beautiful line work, nice miniature details. I love everything about this ship. I'm a major fan of this particular vessel, and I do love the minor details throughout. Now, yes, it does have some gimmicks. We have the Republic Cruiser going into the main hangar bay, and also landing gear, which I really don't get, but it's a nice touch, I guess. For the paint, it's not bad. Sure, we only have about 4 colors, but it gets the job done. This particular miniature does not come with a stand, but if you have extras, as you've seen, they do fit and work great. So that's everything I have to say about this awesome ship today. I hope you enjoyed the review. If you did, smash that like button, and if you'd like to see new reviews every Thursday, subscribe. Again, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to watch my content. I greatly appreciate it, and I hope to see you next time. Bye, everybody!